Sounds good. Oh, a new one? Okay. Yeah, I do have that. No, I do have that. OneDrive should have helped me download everything. Yeah, here. Okay. Yeah, sounds good. Let's see. For this ramp, I graded the bottom toward the parking lot to allow this right. Well, we'll take a look at the ramp. These swells right. So it's going in there. Okay. Contours. Your HPS, is it on the pavement or? Yep, she should be, feels like it's here. We'll take a look again. Confused about this landing. What should I do about it? Let's take a look at the landing first here. We have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. And we need to, basically we need to transition from one contour to the other. This is the contour we start with, and then we need to transition to here. So it might be easier to do something like this. If I erase that one, then I could move this one up a bit. And that one goes here. If I do something like this, then I started to transition to this area. But this one does need to be moved up a bit. So I can start to see this type of transition going on. The ones that I'm drawing in is 0.2 or 0.1 contour. So we're trying to transition, and then this one would be the same as that one, and then that can go. This will be the same as that one, and this gradually transitions to these. Does that make sense? Okay. There definitely is multiple ways to do this. We could think about other ways to transition. You have something going on like this, and then we can basically, also not extend this one over here, but we can basically keep going down like that. There are no, I showed two ways of transition, so either way would be fine, right? Yeah, the one that the one just now took up more space because you basically have this one at the same elevation as the one. You basically have this one at the same elevation as that one. But the one that I drew right just now, this one take less space. Actually, this makes this one gentler in terms of the slope along the middle of the ramp. Yeah, either way would be fine. Okay, so that's the ramp here. And let's take a look at the ramp here. We have an ADA parking, and we have this portion, we have this going down and then go up. One of the lines, I think you meant to extend it over. So this is a short wall. Or let's see, honestly, we should, yeah, that's right. We have a little wall on the side, and then we go down and then go up and then continue over. I think it's okay to get rid of this. Basically, this will be the wall. That's okay. Or actually, oh, because this is the middle. This is in the middle. Yeah, in that case, we'll keep that. We'll keep this portion, and we're going down here, and this one happened to be, you happen to have this contour across this this ramp, and the ramp the contour of 10, that's 10, right? Is that 10? No, that's that is 6. The contour of 6 needs to come out here. The only question is, how do it cross this curb and then come down to this portion of the ramp and then come up, yeah, then come a wrap around here to go back to this portion of the 6 contour. So we go here, and then it needs to wrap around this wall, and there is a 6 on this ramp, and then it goes along that wall, and then there's a portion of the ramp over here, and then it goes around this wall and back to, yeah, back to this point. Does that make sense? So yeah, so basically where it originally there is a contour that runs along this face of the curb, that portion becomes here. And we need to find out wherever it's crossing that, and then connecting it back to the wall, keep going. There's a portion on this one too, right? So that's how we grade this ramp. And essentially, we just need to find out wherever 6 is on this ramp. Yeah. Straight from the ADA to, I'm not quite getting that. Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you could have just one portion of the ramp, this one. You can keep that one and close it right here. That's the wall. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I don't imagine a lot of people use this either, because they see it and they know they have to come down and then go up, right? Yeah, they may see it and then they go directly like that. That's right. Let's take a look at your retention area. You need to first down it a little bit. I want to first see where the center line goes. That's that. So this is where the HPS is on am I doing this correctly? If this is the center line, this contour would not go like that. let me try a few other things. And that is here. This one feels like it's off, not off to the side. Let's see. Delete that one. Move that one. You might need to check if this line is halfway. That seems to be not connected halfway. And maybe, yeah, and just a tad, maybe just like that. So that one, keep going down like this. And yeah, I think there might be something with the dropping of the parking lot. Your 5 would be here, and your 6, if this is the line, I'm trying to, okay, let me clear and then zoom out a little bit and just get a, yeah, your high point might be there. That's too thick. Let me change it to a thinner line. Yeah, feels like that's, if that's the one. Yeah, that's right. There is your HPS. And that is correct. This one is correct. It needs to go to like this. And this one, it's not. This one, if I want the water to go in, I can actually hit right here. Yes, this one would be like that. And in terms of contours on top, that portion will be kept. That portion will be kept. And you have another one somewhere here. There. Yes, that's right. So this is what you have for the top. Well, for the plaza, on the surface of the plaza. And we have this portion. Correct. Then that is going this way. Cool. We just need to open this up. Open that up. There needs to be a connection, a trench drain from here to there. Well, yes, that's correct, because that's that point and this point are about the same elevation, and we can't know. So there is a connection here as well. There's another connection. The downside of this plan is that you're mixing clean and dirty water in this case, which is acceptable unless, no, well, you could still do something to change that by saying, I am going to carve this out as one cell, and then this is another cell that would be connected to these two. And here would be where your plaza water goes in. There's not a lot of plaza water because the boundary is about here. That's about how much water you're getting. It's still, no, it's, yeah, it's still sizable. That's how much, that's the half of that. Half of this is going in, so it's still a pretty good size. Well, some of them might drain down, not a lot, a little. So this portion, that little portion will drain down to the curb, and the other will drain down to the relatively clean cell. So that's the best solution if you can separate them. And the water level here would be lower because your entrance is lower, right? The water level here in this cell, it's higher, which is good actually. This dirty water would not flow into there. Of course, you would have some berms in between, so there would not be kind of interaction of these water. So in terms of spot elevations, you just need wherever the pavement intersect with the center line, you would have a spot elevation. You don't need to specify them as LP or HP for the swell, and then you would have bioretention that has LPs, and in this case, either a DI or an RDI. For this one, it is okay if you, well, I don't know if this is sheet flowing. If this is a sheet flow, if water does, yeah, this one needs an RDI because it won't be able to. It needs to overflow at a certain level. Otherwise, the water will keep pushing the current relatively dirty water downstream. So yeah, this one, because it doesn't have a curb, it needs an RDI, and then the last one, the same thing. So if we say this is 5, because the contour changed, the elevation now needs to change for all of your designs here. My guess is you're probably 0.5 off. So here it will probably be 4.27 instead of 5.27, or 4.77, yeah, 4.77. And then you can systematically lower things 0.5. Yeah, if your RDI equals to 1104, yeah, you have the same issue of mixing the water. So I would recommend separating them. No, this one would be 1, and then that one would be 1. And also, based on the direction of this contour, the lowest point is somewhere here instead. So the trench drain would be in that direction, which is likely beneficial for you to connect to a cell that is in this plot area. And then this one can be smaller because you already have, well, let's see, unless you don't allow water to go in there for this higher portion and have a little wall here and everything just drains along that curb down. But I don't think that's necessary either. I don't think that's a good design either. So I still think separating them, you have room to separate them, and separating them, it's probably not a big hassle in terms of grading. So I would recommend doing this. So this one would be at a higher elevation, and that one would be at a lower elevation just because of the trench drain. Okay. Yeah. Right now, because the 5 wrap around like this, contours here definitely would be not the same. You have 5 over here as well, so you actually have a natural berm. You know, you're going down and then going up, so you likely won't have to have a lot on the other side because 05 is naturally on the other side. Okay, so yeah, that's probably all the questions you listed. Anything else? Okay. On the other side of the parking lot, is it this one? Okay, that one, the divergence swell itself, we kind of need to look at it with the retention together. Yeah, we need to look at the contour number. The key thing is that point, these are the same contour number, and that one is at this location in relative to this one. So if this contour, for instance, now this one is this is 6, 7, that's 7, and this needs to be 7. If this is 7, then that would be correct. And for the shape of the contour, this can be pretty skinny so that you leave more room for that one. So basically, the center line could be moved down in this direction, and the swell line could be like this and going down. So then you would have a larger area here for retention. Yes, 4 feet. No, yeah, 4 feet apart. You just need to keep now make this distance a little smaller. That's too big. If I clear everything, tighten it down. Originally it was like this. Now we can do this relatively. Then we have more room here and move the whole thing. You could, I think you should be able to have room to move the whole thing over like that. Okay. Let me clear. Oh, 6 somewhere here. Yeah, this is likely a little lower because now we'll lower that down by 0.5. So you would have 6.5 and 6 would be somewhere here. Yeah, I don't think your wall needs to be this big unless you really want to have such a spacious plaza. If your 6 is over here, then my 6 is over there. You might be able, 6.5, yes, you might be able to do something like this. Like that. If this is 25 feet away. Does that make sense? Yeah, the wall can be that much. The wall will be between your 97 and 96. 96 can go back to, yeah, original contour. Yeah. And 97 would be hitting the wall. Yes. 97 hitting the wall. You do need a wall. Oh, okay. So I see what's going on here. Okay, I see that you are actually using this design. 97 goes like that, and 96 goes like this. If I think it's okay if this, no, distance is 25. That's a 2% slope as well, right? So you can also do that if you would like to. Just need to find a way to connect 96 back like that. The whole thing, it just means that your whole plaza will be sloping like that. Meaning that the wall here, so if we think about 95, 95 is over here. Now, if we're off the pavement, it could be something like this, right? And then 95 on the other side is about here. So that could be the wall. And then 94 will be here. That's another option. Yeah, I don't think there's a I don't think there's a preferred or there's necessarily pros and cons. If you want 90, if you don't want walls here, this is how you do it. If you want walls here, we could extend the wall here, and then your 97 doesn't need to go here. Then your 96 can go like this, right? So if you want to extend the wall there, that's one of the options that you could choose. All right. Yes, 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 right. All right, I'll move forward then. Okay, I think my first for Thursday is Haley. Yeah. So Haley, I don't know if you have seen on Canvas, I did upload something to your exercise 4 submission page, which reviewed the 4 retention area. So be sure to check that out. Today we'll first look at, okay, the question, how I should grade the back, current ramp, it's close. Yes, that's right. Make your ramp a little longer so that you can have 5%. That's good. And then, so you had 2 questions basically about the back plaza. And I think you figure out the ramp. Well, let's still take a look at the ramp just to make sure. Your back plaza in this way, it's definitely okay. Look at, well, let me go back just to make sure there's no other changes to the contours that we'll need to address. Huh. No, not this one. Oh, wrong one. Where did I put it? I'm sorry. I think it's, I know now. Yeah, looks like we only have a couple of contour changes over here. So no major contour change. That's good. Okay, I just want to make sure that there's no other things that we have to solve first before we move forward to this one. And okay, so we have 1107, FFE would be higher than 1107. This would actually be, yeah, this would be 1107.8 or something. So your bottom FFE will be like that. So your contour of 97 would be a little closer. Yeah, probably like this. And let's just keep that in mind because I need to move away to look at the ramp and connections. Okay. So 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, 8, 9. And there's a wall here. The wall right now looks like a, no, it's a little bit, you would have some concentrations of water in this area. If we change the ramp, well, that's too thick. If we change the ramp like this, then we're making it longer, and we may have a better way of connecting the contours. So let's take a look. 99 can still attach to, yeah, it might be better. So those keep at the same location. That's 9. Now we're doing, oh, that's 0. No, we're doing 9, meaning that there's a, okay, now the wall will be extending. So we're doing something like this, and 8, something like that. And then 7 can go like this. Okay, I think that's a little bit better solution. My wall goes like that. And then I have a DI somewhere over here. Okay. So Haley, I just want to make sure you get this part. 97.8, 97 is over here, 98, yeah.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Cool. All right, so that's the ramp and that's the backyard. We could, so if we look at this side, I feel that we're moving the contour a bit too much and also formed a swell, which may not be that necessary. So that's 97 would need to hit the wall on the side. 6 would need to hit the wall, that side. And that's 5, close the 5. Yeah, I think we might want to extend the wall instead, just because, you know, by building that wall, these can all attach to the wall like that. And 97 is here. Now, depending on where 97 is on this side, or 97.8. So this will be roughly 40 feet until we get to 97. So that wall, I agree, that wall will be a little long, but then these contours don't need to move much. They just need to attach to that wall. And the other thing is, yeah, even if we, well, if we move it like that, I mean, having 97 be this far away, 98 being in this location will make this area too flat anyway. So I will, you know, I will choose to extend the wall and having 97 be the one that returns to its original contour and connect without a wall in this location. Okay. All right. Okay. Anything else that you would like to look at?
Not really, no. Thank you.
Oh, the other one, track it up. Yeah, so you did have, you would have 1107 hit your building. Only if you enter from that point, you would have a 1107 FFE. And raising it, we just saw that raising it will avoid having to drag 097 to the building. So I think overall, raising this to close to 11808 would be beneficial for the grading of the back plaza. Okay. All right. That's that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, take a look at that's exercise 4. This is this one. Thursday. Yeah, Andrew, sorry, I skipped you. Are you here or online?
Okay, I'm here.
Okay. Wow. Exciting list of questions. Divergence flow is roughed out. Okay. Planning on smoothing it. Good. 2 feet enough for separation space between the back and the building, the bioretention area. So is this, that's probably for this one. Better to pipe the roof water downhill of the ramp and lower plaza before it enters. We'll take a look at the backyard. On the hillside of the stairs, preferable to have longer wall with a gentler slope. Oh, yes. It's kind of same question as what Haley just had. Yes, it's better to have a longer wall with a gentle slope. Yeah, because if you have a steep wall in that location, erosion is more likely to happen, and you're also moving a lot of soil in this area. ADA parking lot, how do I reduce the color of so much text? Am I labeling too much? We'll take a look at probably in this area. Does the upper plaza need a slope center line? Yes, we do need ridges and swell center lines. Yeah, it will be, the center line would just hit the edge of the bioretention and stop there. Or being marked with a spot elevation. Yeah, no, you don't have to have a low point. Just the spot elevations whenever pavement crosses the center line. Is it okay to have runoff flow directly from the lower into the bioretention? Yes, that's okay. You don't need to concentrate the water because all the water is actually going to be flowing off the paved into the vegetated area.
Right. Yeah, part of my question with that was like, I wasn't sure where to put the drain inlets or the raised drain inlets because it's such like a wide area.
Yeah.
Like added 3 of them.
Yeah,
But
you
I was
just
like,
need to put it close to the edge of the pavement.
Mhm.
Yeah, you just need to put it in along the edge of the pavement. I don't, if this is the retention area that you were designing?
So that is one, but that's supposed to be collecting water from the roof. And then there's one downhill of the plaza.
Here?
Yeah.
Yes, yes, okay. Let's take a look at the back first. In reality, because the site has a lot of room, we wouldn't necessarily choose to build a bioretention planter right next to the building edge. This sort of planter is more applicable in a very dense area where you don't have anywhere else to put that facility. The reason being, you wouldn't be able to infiltrate at all. Well, it wouldn't be able to infiltrate close to a building foundation. So that facility will be lined anyway, right? If the building roof water is not very dirty, if this is not serving a water quality function or is not necessary for the planter to serve a water quality function, it reduces the peak, of course, right? It detains the water and slowly sort of release it to the next system, but the benefit doesn't outweigh the cost. So this could be a nice conveying sort of system, but I definitely would not expect that to perform infiltration. It could be a depression. It could be conveying water down to the landscaped area over here, but I wouldn't count on that to infiltrate. And it doesn't really perform that much of a water quality benefits, just because the water from this new building, assume that it's a new building, likely pretty clean already. Okay, so you could indicate all this water will come down and then go into this area, instead of having a retention close to the foundation of the building. And then the RDI is at the right location. You just need to put it close to where water enters. The elevation here is about 1097.80 and your RGI is 1097. HP is 7.5. LP is, no, all the elevations are correct. You only need to have a closed contour of 997 here. Does that make sense? Closed contour of 9.7. It could even be 3 cells of the same design.
Okay, I have one cell that has that
It could be a bigger
97
cell.
contour.
The bigger cell, the problem of bigger cell is it's likely to encourage, well, water, if water goes in here, it could be over time, there could be some, if we design for it to be completely flat, over time, it might encourage channelization, but I mean, in theory, it works.
Okay.
Yeah, all the elevations are correct. So, okay, so the 1097 would not do this. You have 1097, and then you would have a closed contour of 97. Because you don't want that 1097 to hit the edge of the pavement, that only indicates that you have a wall here. Does that make sense? It indicates you have a very small, that 1097 doing this indicates you have a very small retention cell that is the edge of the plaza, and it feels like you're designing this pretty narrow on the edge of the plaza. We wouldn't necessarily design for a wall system here either, just because we have enough space, and building a vertical wall here is pretty expensive. Kind of makes sense? Okay,
Yeah.
okay. All right. So that question we answered. We want that to spread out, only modify part of the tail of the contours. I know the other one is the stairs. Let's look at the stairs. Nope, the ramp. Yeah, it is hard to label. Well, what's the percentage of set? And then I want it to be 100%. 0. Yeah, that's 100%. You want to check, I don't know if this program allows me to, no, that's not what I need. This program allows me to print to 100%. I just want to see how, the size of the, maybe this, oh, nope. That's what I want. Oh, it doesn't tell me. It is going to be very difficult to label clearly. This group seems to be well organized. Yeah, okay. That. Well, one thing that I would recommend doing here is to combine these two ramps because they're so close together. You basically would, yes. That is where you get up. And then you can make this ramp more spacious. And then these are the parking stalls. That is the parking stall. That is the parking stall. So you only have one ramp over here. Then you don't need to label as much. The other reason is that having a trench run over here overlapping with the ADA space might not be a great idea. Is this basically parallel to there?
Yeah, almost.
Not entirely. Yeah, not entirely, which is good. That means all of the water will be able to concentrate here, right? So, but you do want to direct some water to this area. Is that what you're trying to accomplish? Having some retention in this area?
No,
Or-
so those are like kind of runnels. I have trench drains at the base of each of the ramps. So water can flow through the sidewalk and out to the turnaround area where it can get to the high retention area.
Is it possible? Yeah. Trying to understand the edge of your pavement. The edge of your pavement is over here. What if we move? What if we move our ADA over here, and then this entire area could be green? Then that area will be able to treat that. And we only get up from here. So we have a ramp over here. That's my edge of the pavement. And there needs to be, yes, I remember, there needs to be a trench run of some sort that would be able to go across the walk to somewhere here. I don't know if that was, this is one of the cells, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the sidewalk because the bus drop off is at the top there.
The bus drop off. Yeah. So the bus drop off can be here. Oh, if my pavement is doing something like that, my pavement is doing something like this. Nope, that's not great. Okay, so let me erase this. If my pavement is doing something like this, then I can, yeah, I still need to pipe this somewhere. Well, let me zoom out again. I want to understand a little bit better about the bigger picture. I'm sure, Andrew, we have talked about this just what a god. No, I just I couldn't recall what exactly I said in previous reviews. Apologize. Now, are we having people getting off here or
No,
here?
so just north of the parking lot. See that cut out in the entryway?
Oh,
Yeah.
we're getting off here and then we kind of have people walk all over. But if we pipe this over, there's no, there couldn't be any treatment in between. Then it keeps going down to this area. And I think there definitely needs to be something happening in the between. So we ought to find out. Well, I think people can still walk here. They just need to cross over there. They may need to get down here too. So those are where people need to walk. This is not, well, this is somewhat useful in terms of receiving water, maybe the first portion of this area. Then essentially we just need a walkway that continues all the way down here. Let's see. We need people to walk, 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 and then like that. And then this portion needs to be, and now the green could be, I think that could be green. It's actually pretty useful if it's green. That portion can be green. After we carve out a portion of the pavement, then this portion can be green. Now, if that's the case, that goes in there. Well, curb cut will be somewhere here. And then curb cuts, well, this is flowing that way. Okay, so that's not receiving any water. Let's get rid of that. But from this point on, we are having water. We might not need this portion. I think we start from wherever there is enough width to allow the green to happen.
What's the minimum width for like a by-right
The
fence area?
walkway, minimal, it's, no, you should be able to fit it in. if we divide it first, then we're doing kind of this way, this portion, all of that, that's part of it. So what's the width you have now here? It seems like 15 feet or so.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
about it.
if you can keep like a 6 feet or 5 to 6 feet walkway.
Okay.
Yeah, 5 to 6 feet walkway along this way up until here. I think we can cut through in roughly this location because this is roughly half of this drainage area, right? So that seems to be a good location to start your retention. And we don't need as much trench drain in this case. We will need curb cuts. Well, a short trench drain going through from, again, I would recommend putting the ADA over here. Then your ramp would be going down and then going up type of ramp. Does that make sense? You would have a relatively flat pad, and then to continue the ramp, basically we're going down in this way and then going up again to continue to the plaza area, right? So that way you would need the curb cut to happen somewhere here. And then this is a pretty good connection, not curb cut, trench drain. Trench drain to happen in this area. And then trench drain to happen in this area. And this is separated from the clean water here. So I think that's a better solution. Now, this all dirty water comes to that one. That's a good solution. So we don't need to change any of that. 1 cell, 2 cell, yeah, should work. Did I make any mistake in the process here?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, that's an interesting idea that I'll have to look into and do some calculations and see if that area can handle. Yeah.
Should be able
runoff.
to, because it should be roughly about 1/12 of the entire drainage area. And because you have a green over here already, right? So you are only needing to calculate some of that amount. Well, this is the drainage area that you need to calculate. And if it's roughly about 1/12, then you have enough area. And if not, because we have an RDI, we're not verifying it. So I think roughly this is appropriate. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, hopefully I did not contradict myself. But I think we have we have this figured out no better than before. All right, so that's that. Yeah, we don't need the trench drain over here anymore because we have a green area carved out of the original walkway. We had this, we have this. That needs to be connected, yes. And I'm not exactly sure about this contour. That looks a little sketchy here. 11060 goes over there. Yeah, once we reduce that to one ramp, you should have more room to be able to fit in all the labels. Yeah, and I would, for instance, if I were to what? Yeah, if I were to reorganize the labels here, I probably would leverage 1 liter line to move this up. So that, because eventually you still have to have bioretention in this area, right? So if you can make TC and BC labels further away, organized in a block in the parking lot, that will be beneficial for legibility, because you are bound to have more contours inside for the
What do you mean?
retention. So try to separate parking lot and retention spots will be beneficial.
What do you mean that I'll need to have by retention there?
Oh, this one. Okay, my bad. Because there's a ridge line. There's a ridge line. It might be not that useful. It might be partially useful. Yes, there's only one thing here that you need. Otherwise, it's all going well. This one would have some water, so I would have one here, not in the middle, but here. You do not need. Oh, this is a walkway. You don't need a
No, so
walkway over here. Yeah, this is a curb cut. Because
What?
this is green, right? This is green. Unless you are designing a walkway that is going directly here, which I don't think is necessary. So this will be green, and that will be a simple curb cut. Sort of makes sense.
Yeah, so visualizing a curb cut in 3D would be like a pipe going underneath the soil? Or would there be like a break, like would the elevation of the soil come down to that of the parking lot?
You have, yeah, you have a contour here. You would have some high point here, and then you would have a cell in this area. Does that make sense? You could add another one over there. That's a higher curb cut. This is a lower curb cut, and the elevation of the cell would be determined by the lower curb cut. And then you would have a high point over here and another contour over here. So you wouldn't, the water wouldn't be flowing down to the cell. Essentially, how much water is this treating? This much. So let's say, okay, let's say no curb cut over here, because this is the only kind of drainage area that you're receiving, right? If we don't have one, it will keep flowing down, to this cell. So if you say this is too small, it's not worth treating, then that's okay. Then you get rid of this. But I would say that area is the same as this area. As much as you can treat would be good. If you say, I only want to treat it here, then at least you would have one here. Does that make sense? You do have a pretty big drainage area. Let's see. If this is my center line, if I don't treat this one, that will keep flowing down along this curb to this area. So this one would be adding up to there. If I'm only treating that one, this is the portion. So essentially, this will be treating that much and this much. Some of the treatment, well, that's not a lot to go in that area. So yes, the green area is what I outlined, is the one that you can use this file to treat. Does that make sense?
I originally put that that space between the parking in because I was intending on putting by retention in there, but but then I went back and I like changed the center line and how the contours were pitched. And so that changed everything for the bioretention.
So,
Yeah.
so Andrew, I can see that why this is still pretty small, right? If you don't intend to treat with the this area, you can remove that one. Remove this one, then it wouldn't be interpreted as, oh, I'm actually having something designed here. That water don't need to go across the pavement, or the raised green area to that watershed. Now, we do have the ridge line over here, but because of the curb, right, we'll keep flowing down this curb, and we'll keep flowing down that curb, and we eventually get down here. So the whole thing, the whole area will keep flowing down to this area. If you would like to intercept that and treat that, you could use one bio here. If you say it's all too small, I don't want to treat it, then you remove the indication of anything of a trench drain or a curb cut. You are saying, oh, I'm just gonna treat everything over here. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so that curb cut I put in to get that little triangle of drainage area to move through the island there. That
Yeah, so it's your
Yeah.
choice. Now, if you want to open this up, open this one up and say, I want a curb cut over here. I want a curb cut over here to treat water. You can choose to have one of them. A better one would be the lower one. We could say, I don't need that one. I just would use this as this bottom cell. Then you would be able to treat the area that I outlined here and there. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's this portion. Just going to screen up and see if I missed anything else. Okay, let's convergence swell we haven't, or divergence swell we haven't looked through. 18, 18, 18. So roughly it should be able to prevent the water from upstream to come down to your bioretention area. Curb cuts equal to 108. So your LP is a bit too low. This is a 2 feet deep cell. So let's just say you have a 1107 bottom. So you raise that by a foot, and you have another 08 contour and 08. So as long as you change the LP and raise it by 1 foot, that one is good. The
Okay.
one below, curb cut, it's 1107.01. RDI, it's a little too low. You could still make your RDI 1106.5 so that you don't make your cell a little too deep. Okay, so this works. I'm not saying this doesn't work. It's just some more excavation than necessary, because you're essentially lower your cell by a foot, right? So the depth here is correct, but your RDI can be a little higher. 1107, that's 06. Yeah, you wouldn't have water going inside of your cell there. That's cool. And for the one that's at the bottom, BC equals to 106.64. Yeah, works. There's some confliction of 07 conflicting with 06. I do remember this drawing about retention. Let me quickly bring up. So I made a few notes about so check this one out. I do remember this saying those contours conflict. This is uploaded canvas for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did check
Tell me
these.
Could you tell me where your red lines are uploaded in Canvas? Because
It's
I
under,
see Stuart's in the modules, but not yours.
it's under your assignment 2 submission page.
Okay.
Yeah, I did not compile everything together and upload a single PDF. I uploaded to your assignment 4 submission page.
Okay.
Okay,
Cool.
so those 4, those 3, I already made some red lines there. Okay, that's that. Yeah, I remember commenting on that one too.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I think you covered all my questions.
Awesome. Thank you for being very thorough, listing them out. All righty. I'll move forward. Okay. Adam,
I'm here.
hello. All right, probably need to turn. Okay. This where ramp should go. Yeah, that's a good place for, oh, you can combine them. Combine the 2 together.
Like the 2 ADA spots, like triangles or rectangles, I mean.
Yeah, so switch these 2. Switch that with that. So then you would have 1 whole parking lot space and 2 ramp spaces. So those
So does
are
it not-
where, yeah,
Does
those
it
are
not
the,
matter what side it goes on with the parking
I'm
spot?
sorry?
I just like assumed it mattered what side the rectangle went on the parking spot.
This will allow you to combine the 2 ramps into 1. So you don't have to design like 4 segments of the ramp. Does that make sense? You would, let me zoom in. So the ramp will be, this is where you get onto the flatter portion of the ramp. And you would have 1 slope, another slope. And that's your edge of the pavement. That's your edge of the pavement. Oh, the ramp, kind of the top of the ramp. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Do I still need a cross slope on that
Nope,
flat part?
nope.
Okay.
No, for this design, because you have a walkway all the way through, you need the continuity in this side, and you actually have a wall over here. That's where your wall is.
Okay.
Yeah. That's that. Yeah, we need to add the retention area to be able to know this is too close to the too close to the parking lot, and your center line will likely be sort of in this location, and that contour, you could tighten this up. So that one can go like this and then come down. I'm drawing it a little too tight. And oh, okay. That one needs to be dragged up. I don't know if, let me zoom out again and see if you have a need to design any retention here, or could this be as is? So contour goes this way. I made, oh no, that's not it. This way. So you actually could have something here. And then something here, because that's the RD, that's the DI. Yes, and you need one connection over here. So in that case, I do think we probably need to drag this up like this, depending on how big this is. This don't need to be so big. Let me erase that one and that one. So it's probably going to be like this. Now we'll keep this line as the 1110 contour and tighten this up like that. 109. 109. If you want to have one more here, you can. It's not a lot of water. Yeah, if you have a curb cut here, it's not a lot of water. So maybe you can start with 108. But the 108 do need to wrap around and drag it up like this. So I maybe I may have made it too tight, but this is probably how your divergence swell will go. And that makes sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, you do need
could you
to
help me?
go ahead. Yeah.
Could you help me like figure out what the trench drain would look like? I think I know, but I just want to confirm on the
Yeah.
lower part there.
You do need one that goes like this. It's better, well, I will need to see where your swell line, oh, the swell line is over here. So what was my mark before? Give me a second here. Yeah, let me check what I marked for you in the other. Yes, so I did not mark the specific location, but I did say, yes, you need a trench drain over here. Let's go back to this assignment over here. It looks like you have room in this area for that one. Oh, I actually would recommend doing it right here. Move it up. So that's your retention for your plaza. And then this needs to come out to somewhere over here. Connected to another cell, which is lower than the one here, because there are about 5.5 foot in elevation difference. And that one will just be connected to something, a cell over here. So that's that. And this one would have two lines and a TD to indicate that's a trench drain. This one will be surface flowing into the cell, doesn't need a curb or anything. It just needs to be no curb spots and high point, low point, and contours. So, and these should be away from the divergence swell because you don't want to mix up the water. That's basically how you represent it. And remember that the trench drain, when you design a trench drain here, no water enter from the BC, but the bottom of the trench drain is 0.5 foot below that BC. Okay, and then you calculate a 1.5 or 2% slope at the bottom of the trench drain. So you know the elevation here where water enters the cell. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so just remember calculating that to account for the depth of the trench drain.
Yeah, the only thing that doesn't make sense to me is the bioretention capturing from the plaza in the middle of my swale there. So do my low point and high point still remain the same, even if it's right in the middle of the swale there?
You would stop your line right there. That's where you stop your center line. And you only need the spots over here. And then you design this according to kind of the standard RDI, LP, and HP. Is that what you're trying to figure out?
Yeah, so would I have my high point below that
So-
bioretention unit?
This is where you enter, right? If this
Yeah.
is 108, that means this is 1107.5, for instance. You could specify your RDI to be 1106.007.2, for instance, and then your LP would be 1106.2. Well, suppose it's a one foot deep, and then you would have a 1107 contour. And you could have your 107 contour wrap around instead of going, you could have that, well, let me change the color. So your 107 could actually go like this. And your high point would be in the middle. It's too thick.
Okay.
That's 1107.5. So that's how you
Where
grade that one out.
Where would my high points of the swale be?
Oh, your high point of swale. The high point of the swale would be wherever I can move up. Yeah, I can move up and then we can take
Okay,
up.
so even though it's like broken up by the bioretention,
Yes,
I can still
yes.
keep my, okay.
Yeah. Oh, you do need a trench drain again.
Yeah,
Well, no. You don't need a trench drain because the water will keep flowing down to the lowest point. So all this is going down out of here. My moving up, that's your HPS. Your HPX works.
okay,
Yeah, you just have some run on. You have some plaza water run on your turnaround area, but it's a pretty small area, so that's okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
That's about it.
I think
I did make
had-
some suggestions over here. Just make sure you look at some of the revisions.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that intersection at the low point of the swale is okay.
Here.
At the bottom, my swale at the bottom there.
Oh, here. You let's see. I made just one tiny little change over here. I think this is working okay.
Okay.
Well, the curb over here, they don't feel they're not connected, right? Because it's not it's not acknowledge the existence of the curb.
What do you
So-
mean?
So your 14 wouldn't be able to direct connect, right? Don't know if you change anything over here for this version. So having a curb and then having the contour across the curb like that, it's not correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Because at that height, on top of that is 14 and the bottom is 13.5. So yeah, 14 would actually be on the other side. You would instead connect it over here, avoiding that curve.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, just make sure you check all those places. Otherwise, it looks good.
Yeah. Okay.
Make sure that we don't cross a curb. Those locations needs to be checked.
Okay.
All right,
I think that's it.
sounds good.
Yeah. Thanks.
You're welcome. Chuck. Maybe let me go back to this one. Yes. So would it be possible to make this whole even with a contour? Yes. Should this one be close to the part of curve? I did make some comments. Give me a
Hey,
second.
Wuhong, I think this is the wrong one. I sent a more recent one just last night.
Oh. Um. This is what I downloaded this morning. Let's see.
I could have submitted it in the wrong spot. I'm not sure though.
Is it
I'll check.
intern? Probably intern 2.
Maybe. Actually, no, I did submit in the right spot, but I submitted the wrong thing. It turns
Okay.
out.
You can share your screen if you would like, or you could use the chat to attach the file so I can download. Either way.
I'll try the chat way.
Okay. Now give me a couple minutes. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, downloading it. Okay. Seeing it? Cool.
There we go. Thank you. Sorry about that.
No worries. Does this fire retention work, or do I need any more along this driveway? That works. Let's take a look at the elevations. Yeah, it's a relatively small area. So to be exact, is this much. This much area, so that's not a huge area, and that should be enough. And this is curb cut equal to 880. I'm not able to see. Can I move your? Nope. So if the curb cut, it's at 1108.9. Well, we still need all kinds of different elevations here. 1109.2 LP, that's a half foot deep cell. you would have a 1109 contour. So contour looks okay. Just need to label it. Label the contour. HP change to LP. Then that should work. The swell, no, the concept is actually for you to make the contour shape like this. And the blue is in here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So otherwise, you can see we're creating a little ridge here, right? Water is draining that way. So this is what we wanted. Drag the whole thing up and then create a cell in between. And I feel we still have room to move things over to the side. Basically, we still have some room to move things over to the side. Tighten this curve up like that. So we have more room over here because you do have a pretty good angle, a side slope here for the water to be collected by the curb here. Okay, so that's that. And making the swell didn't feel correct. I'm not sure. Okay, no, that's not the way we would like it to be. So that was not there. Right, mark anything up here. Give me a second, and I want to look for. Okay, so I did one change for the retention area over here. Be sure to check that one out. And then after that, let me see what contour number that is. That is 1105. Okay, so 1105 will wrap around the downstream side of your cell. So that means 1105 does something, well, the swell over here might be looking like that. And it would roughly go around and attach to somewhere over here. Yeah, I still have to go back and check if, oh, no, maybe we just do this. Do that. And 04, the swell on this side will keep going. It's a separate thing. And here, your swell basically end in your retention, right? So all these, they can be like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Is it okay for my swell to run into my bioretention like that?
The swell, the plaza here, it's supposed to run into it like this one.
Got it.
The only issue is we don't want this one to receive water from this side. So we ought to figure out how we discharge that water to a different place. So I might suggest that you end your pavement right there, because otherwise it's hard for you to pipe that water out. So that one would be for all the water that concentrates over there. And this one would just be for the plaza. This is the plaza one. And that one is the parking lot one. I know there's also water coming out of here, right? So that could be connected So this could be one cell because their elevation is very similar. That elevation is a little higher than this one, but they're not too far away. So they can be one cell.
Okay.
All right. So you get the idea. These could basically be no sheet flowing down. Yeah, I might change that direction to like this more for it so that it's easy to connect. Okay. So that's that. All right. Anything else that you want me to look at?
No, I think that was all. Thank you.
Okay, that one was before. Yeah, make sure you check this one out. I did some other contour suggestions on this and some, yeah, contour suggestion for that one too. Elevations. Yeah, quite a few marks about the retention in particular.
Okay. Where are these at again?
This is under, so you can view feedback for exercise 4, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
okay,
under,
I'll check that
yeah.
out.
I made a comment there, so you should be able to see that one.
Okay.
All right, Haley. All right, you're here. Cool.
Yep, I'm here.
So we want to look at this one and that one and this one, and we may, yeah, we still need to work on this. Looks like we're running out of room here for a retention area. And this one is the lower one where we treat everything. Yeah, it's a little tough. It's a little tough for you to fit in the divergence swale. And it looks like you're already at 25%. Definitely these contours can be pushed down here. We take a look at these. Yeah, I think it's better if we look at the bottom here first, just to make sure that we don't need to make huge changes to the site plan. 13, 13, 14, that's already sort of the tightest that we can get. Let me try making it really tight and see how things go. So these contours are not connected correctly on this side. We're missing a few. Yeah, okay. So if our 13 is here, our 12 needs to be here. That's our 12. And your 12 is up on that side. Okay. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. So you're pretty high. Then here it's pretty high. So back to 98 is the next contour. And here is also 98 at the bottom. And we have a wall, which is not that necessary. Yeah, the major
think-
thing.
I think this might be the wrong assignment.
Huh, okay.
Yeah, I don't think this is my intern one. Because I had questions on mine.
Oh, this one is that.
Yep,
Right?
that's it.
Yeah, sure. Sorry about that.
No worries. I mean, the contours aren't much different, but I noticed my ramp wasn't graded and my questions weren't there.
Right. This is the contour here. I think it's the major problem. Because we don't have 12, we don't have 11. And we only started with 10. 10 is over here. So meaning that if we make this 13, what do we do if we make it 13 here? If we allocate for 1, then 10 is over here. There might need to be some changes to the base map just because we don't have those contours yet. So that's 13, even if we tighten that up like that. 12 is over here. If we tighten that up like this, or maybe like that, 12, I don't know where it goes yet. Let's just leave it open there. 11 should be here. Yeah, I'm trying to be as tight as I can.
Can I not have them go into the parking lot like that on the top? Like I have them coming out on the side and then going into the parking lot and then like connecting around the other side? Do I still need
Right.
to connect them like at the bottom?
But you can't have 13 and 12 next to your 9 contour. You have 13,
okay.
next contour is 9, right?
Right.
Yeah, so
Okay,
we're missing a couple of contours there. So right now we have 12 over here. And this one is 11. And if we keep going, our 10 is to connect like this. If we make this one 10, then we can connect over here. So that's the tightest that we can get. So that may be our 10. It's very, very tight. If we move even more down, that's our 9. Yeah, I think we'll probably need to put a wall here. Let's see how we can. Yeah, let's put a wall here. I don't think we have enough room at all in this area to connect all these contours and still make some room for the retention. If we put a wall here, it just basically will be running this way, and you would have these contours 12, 13, 12, and 11. Hit that, and we start with so this one is 9 going down here, and you need to do something like this and then going down. So your wall looks like it needs to, unless, okay, let me zoom out again. If we systematically change contour number by 1, I want to see what happens. If this is 13, 12, 11 and 10. 10 being here, 9. That becomes 9. That becomes 9, and this becomes 9.5. And here, 99.5. Close to 99. So I don't see a huge problem, but it will be daunting for you to change everything by 1. And my only concern, if we do not change it, if we will have enough room in this area to create retention. Let's try again. Let's suppose we're not changing it by 1. We'll see if it works. If it doesn't, then we probably don't have a lot of choice. We'll have to go back to change by 1. So that contour needs to be, let's label it first. So if this is 9, and that is 8, and this is 7. Yeah, remember to label it on the high side. So this 07 is labeled on the low side, label it on the high side. Our 8 needs to be here, and it needs to be, let's see. If we create something over here, then I may want to wrap it around so that I have cell. Then I go up. Then I go up. Now leave some room over here. So I have something that can go inside here. And another cell being here because we have more room here. So 1, 2, maybe I erase this one because that looks like a very little space. If I make it over here, then I need to drag. This is 9, that needs to be 9, and that needs to go like this. And this one needs to go, because there's nothing in between, so that might be good. And then doing that. And our center line, we just need to go like this. Okay, if this is 9, means that we have everything over here hit the wall. So that hit that. That's mine 12. That's mine 11. That's mine 10. So starting here, my wall will be like this. And next one is 9. This is also 9. 9 needs to come back over. So, well, with the wall and with avoiding something over here, only having this cell being here, I think we will be able to make it work. It's still very tight and your wall is probably pretty long, but let's try this. Let's try this so that we don't have to at this point switch all the spot elevations by 1. Okay. Now this is 9, 10 going backwards. Well, this one would have to go 9, wrap around, and then starting here, and then going back to your 10. Well, 10 cannot be connecting like that either. Because we can't have a 13, otherwise we'll have the wall hitting here all around. Let's see. Yeah, looks like this 10 is to hit the wall also. That's a pretty long wall. And that goes, that doesn't change. This doesn't change. So all these needs to hit the wall. Okay, I am a little nervous about this area. Give me 1 second here. 12 goes like this. Going back there. And my 11 goes here. And then going back like that. My 10 hit the wall. Everything else hit the wall here. 11, 10 going on the wall and then around that. Okay, so that's okay. Okay, so this 10 is the first thing that hit the wall. Haley, can you try this? You try designing the wall out and then make sure this is all 4 feet and put in the retention. And if we indeed would have room in this area, I wouldn't change anything else. I know, I mean, I wouldn't suggest switching your contour number down by 1 or up by 1, actually up by 1. If no, it doesn't work, and if changing the contour number would actually help you gain some room in this area, then we opt for that. So if you can work on this first thing, and then whenever you have that one, you send it to me and we take a look and then move forward, that might be the best way to go. Does
Yeah,
that make sense?
sounds,
Yeah.
yeah, that sounds good. The wall makes sense, but I just have one question.
Mhm.
Would it start where I have like the
Start here.
113? Like,
Yes.
okay.
Start here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The wall is to hold the 10 on the other side of the wall.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that area was a little bit of trouble for me, but that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't recall our conversations back when we talked about the area being too tight. And yeah, this might be a little late to make drastic changes, but I just want to make
Yeah.
sure that we indeed don't have a big error in this area. So if you can work
Yeah,
on this
right.
first thing and send it to me, that would be awesome.
Sure. Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, so let's take a look at the other thing. Does the center line have to curve more? No, I honestly don't think we need to move so much of the contour over here. Let's suppose this is the final draft of the contour. And let's talk through what changes might be necessary. Even if you made some changes to the contour in the area after you tried out the wall, the principle may still hold. So just so you know, it smells really good in studio right now. Okay. We have this contour being 8. This looks like it's 7. I don't know. Well, I need to roll up 17 here. This is, oh yes, 8. Okay, good. That's 8. We have 8 here. 8 comes out over here. We have 7. 7 seems to be running around like that. Want to do this 7, and depending on how your convergence swell goes, 6 could actually be doing something like this and then coming down like that. And I think 5, well, we don't need a wall for sure, because yes, your contour, no, on the 2 sides of the wall, they are different, but they're not drastically different, right? They're probably only 1 foot or half foot different. If that's the case, you really don't need that wall to go over that difference. So let me try to clear, and then I want to roll down to the side. So annotate line. My 7, if my 7 goes like this, and then go like that, my 6 comes up here, and I might switch it over so it's easier to connect. My 5 is over here originally, so it could be tiny little bit change, and then like that, and then 4, same thing. 3 now, it's across, it's trying to cross over, so I might extend it over like this, and depending on how I want to transition, it could be something like this. Go back and then turn it a little bit at the tail, then 2, does that make sense? So you don't need a wall. We could just aim for such type of connection. Something needs to happen. It needs to turn a little bit just to wrap around the wall, wrap around the ramp a little. But you can see that's quite doable because you have enough length. I just wouldn't design for the side slope to be very steep. For that reason, I probably would change this to just like that. And then I have mine. This is 1 0. 1 0 is over here. 0 is over here. So something like this. And then back like this. I did become a little gentler in terms of slope, because 7, it's moved down a little bit, 6. But that ultimately will need you to calculate. If that's the case, well, I mean, if you're able to keep slope within, you can move everything up like that. That makes sense? So that you stay relatively close to where your original calculated contours are.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then, like, does it matter how many contours are on the ramp? Like, does it need 10 because of the difference in the house?
Yeah, it's dependent on where the spot elevations that are connect here, right? This is their back plaza. That's 1098 point, probably 1098. And here is based on your calculation of the plaza edge. So my 8 is over here, and my slope is going like this at 2%. I can use this 2% to calculate what this elevation is of my top ramp. You could start the ramp a little bit earlier, so you could utilize 5%. You could start the 5% slope right in this area, so just so you don't need such long ramp. It could save you a little bit of distance, but if you would like this whole area to be flat, which I think is a good design, better design. Starting the ramp exactly here, you would use the slope to calculate the top of the ramp. So those determine the slope overall, right?
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, based on your site slope, this is actually pretty close to 10. Yeah, this is probably 7.5. So my 07 being here is likely more accurate estimate. All right. That's that. Calculations look correct for the ramp. This one? Do
Yes.
you mean this ramp? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So you would have a portion of the contour run on the ramp. Does that make sense? So we would have your contour goes like that. Originally it would go, oh, no, sorry, my bad. This actually goes that way. So you don't have the contours go on the ramp. If we look at the ramp calculation, the key thing for calculating the ramp is these two. The top of the ramp is determined by your plaza contour, right? So that the distance from here to there, you extend this one, and your 2% slope determines what this is. And here is the distance from here to there, that determines the TR over here. Use these and use, well, now if I delete those, the BR will be determined by your parking lot. So that is determined by that distance. This is determined by that distance. So now you have your key elevation figured out, right? And then that one is determined by, again, BC is determined by the parking lot. Same thing. This spot, the BC is determined by the parking lot. All right. Using that one to calculate maximum slope. And I don't think the flare, the side of the slope is calculated correctly. That one should be 8-9%. While maximum should be 8.33. That sound good? Or kind of make sense?
Yeah, I think so.
Sorry.
I think I calculated the spot elevations correctly, like according to what you said.
Mhm.
So then I just used to find the slope, I did 0.1 for like the difference between the two spot elevations,
Mhm.
and then divided by the distance, which was 5.
Yes.
And I did get 2%. So I
Mhm.
don't know, is that, you said that's wrong?
That slope, it's definitely not maximum 2.0. That's the side of the if you look at a 3D model of a ramp, the side is the most steep, right?
Right.
So how can I show this a little more clear? You would use the okay, that's the TC here is that, yeah, that's correct. And the BC, no, for instance, the two difference here, the TC and the BC here is 0.6, and this is a pretty small distance, right? And that becomes your,
Oh, I used the bottom, I used the two bottom curve numbers.
you should use the top of the curve minus
okay.
of the bottom spot. Yeah, that's the steepest slope.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, all right. Cool. So that's the ramp. Now I'll get back to you about the retention. I think I marked it up, but I haven't uploaded it. You will receive it in your Canvas page. Okay,
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
all right, yeah. So that's that. Marcella. Okay. The contours around car drop off, are they just all 1107? Do parking lot spot elevations look correct? How should I calculate the spot around the bus drop off? Stairs, ramp. The requirement, it mentioned the ramp. Yes, that's the curb ramp. So where should we start? Car drop off. Okay. Yes, that's 07. 07 is a closed contour. I am a little confused about the pavement boundary, and I think there might be some cleaning up necessary for this area. Basically, your parking lot stopped right now, right here, right? So that's, you wouldn't have a space between. So that space in between would not be necessary. Otherwise, you would basically have your curb right there. So the space between this line and your curb would not be necessary. This will be connecting back to here. Your curb will basically be the brown line that I just drew. And these needs to be 90 degree. Honestly, it will stop right here, your parking lot. And then that's your, unless you are able to make one more parking lot. Well, round it. So that's your, again, 90 degree. Yeah, that was it. So this would be your parking lot. Same thing, I think the line here cuts the turn. And that needs to be, yeah, this one, okay, we'll round these corners because those are major roadways. So there's some details that you would need to clean up on the base map. Okay, so that's that. 107 here. That contour is closed, no problem. 7 wouldn't be running along the edge. 7 would be wrapping around like this. Want to keep that one, no problem. That needs to happen on the other side of the wall. Your wall instead will actually be like this. Okay, so that line is the building edge, meaning that this portion of the contour would be like this, and that would be like that. Okay, so that's that. Drop of contour solved. Is there another drop of contour that you want me to look at? Let's see. This one is okay. You don't have another contour over there, so that's okay. And let's take a look at the ramp at here. So 1107 goes around 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Yeah, again, I would turn this contour. This is 2. I probably would do something like, I would move this contour to 1 down and then do this. And then going across. Maybe if I don't want that to be steep, I'll move it out. It's okay for you to, well, let's see. If you have enough, no, may have enough space or not. Okay, if not, then we need to move it out of the paved or the ramp area and then just turn it around like this. No, 10 will just need to accommodate and do this. So moving the set because you may not have enough room or enough length here to create that 5% slope. That's why I'm trying to move that out of, then this would, not, you turn it so it will drain outside. The side slope will create this water flow, okay? Yeah, we're creating a swell over here toward the wall, and that's not recommended. So this will be doing that. And that goes out, goes out, goes out, and connect back to 10. And this will be moved down like this, like that, like this. Well, if we can make this area sort of gentler, we should try to spread it out. Try to spread these contours out like that. All right, then keep moving. That goes here. And now if we can do that. This is 97, and your 97 is right over here. So you can actually spread them out a little more because you're trying to get to 97 at this location anyway. So your 97 doesn't need to be on the ramp, or it could be just be at the end of the ramp here, right? And then your 97 is actually lower down here. So you don't need to move as much. Well, I haven't zoomed out yet, but my sense is that this area doesn't need to be moved as much. For instance, this could even be, this is 18, right? 18 could even be like that. That makes sense? So yeah, because I'm not zoomed out enough, I actually think this connection is very possible to make. 2 would be down somewhere. Yeah. 2 is here. And then however it's easier to attach the original one would be good. 3 could do this. All right. Okay, so that's that. Let me go back to the list. Parking lot spots. Parking lot spots, the calculation would not be, for instance, the DI here is not correct. The 07 runs along the curb. So your DI, you still need to measure, excuse me. You measure the distance here. So this will be lower than 07. 2% multiplied by that slope. And use 1107 to minus that elevation difference. That's your DI. It needs to be lower than 1107. My guesstimate is 1106.85, something like that. Okay. Anything on the parking lot, the bottom of the curb will be determined by the parking lot. That's the principle, and use that principle will always get you the right calculation. So I agree that these look suspicious because this one, it will be 7.4 BC will be 7.4. Okay, that one would be 7.6, the BC. Does that make sense here?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, use that, use those, you can set up a spreadsheet set up the equation, measure this distance, and then do the calculations. And make sure that you always go in one direction, right? If you want to go downstream, measure to the lower contour, you add 107, right? If you measure, according to the distance to a higher one, you use minus. So make sure that when you calculate, it's always consistently based on either addition or subtraction. Otherwise, you might have some errors in the spreadsheet. Okay, so that's that one. Around the bus drop-off, it's exactly the same. You would measure the distance to 107. In this case, you would subtract 107, or use 107 to subtract the elevation difference you calculate from this horizontal distance. Okay. Let's look at the stairs. So yeah, Masala, your vertical snap might be off. Some of these lines, they don't seem to be perpendicular to that line. So double check to make sure that snap is set up correctly. So your stairs, BC, it's correct. That spot is not 107.5. So your TS here, again, when you determine where you start your stairs, that spot elevation will be calculated by the distance to 106, right? Or you could back calculate the distance to 107. So you would know, okay, this line is the same elevation. You know that TS spot, and you know this TS spot, right? Based on the distance to, again, either to that one or to this one, either way. But that one will be close to 106. That one will be 06.35, something like that. And now after you have determined the TSO above, these are the same as 1097.5. And then based on that, subtract this with this, the overall elevation difference, right? It is a little higher, well, it's a little lower than what you have here, which is okay. Then based on what you have over here, you have for each flight of the stairs, you have 3 feet of a vertical difference, which is about 6 risers. Well, actually it's 6 inches, not 6 feet, not feet, but it's 6 inches, 5 risers. Oh, no, 6 risers, sorry. If the elevation difference here is 3 feet for each flight, suppose each step is 0.5 foot high, you should have 6 risers. Okay, and then you could, if that's the case, if every one of them is 3, then you could say typical. But so far, those dimensions are not correct yet. Okay, if it's 4 inches, you only have like 2 feet of elevation difference between your TS and BS. Okay, so they just need to agree with each other. And you can use what I did just now to verify whether or not they do. Does that help? All right, let me zoom back out and see. We did the stairs, we did the ramp, and the curb ramp. So what you need is the ADA ramp over here, right? So as I mentioned to the other folks, you would put this one over here. Over here, so these are two painted area, and your ramp will be here. That's the flatter area, and that's not able to draw with the mouse very well. This is where people, this is the flat area, and that is your ramp. That is the other part of the ramp. This goes down like this, that goes down like that. And here is the bottom of the ramp. Here is the top of the ramp. Oh, no. Here. Does that make sense? I may just be putting, I think it might be a good idea to put back the curb ramp from the grading class. So the ramp would look like, not that one, this one. This is what that looked like. Have a flatter area here and go up on the other side. This is a different type. I'll just put what we had for curb ramp from grading class to the final project module. I think that will help folks refresh how this was done. Okay. That might be all the questions you have. Anything else? Yeah, we still have to work on this portion. Do we need to close that contour? All right, I will move forward then. If I see anything else, yeah, I'm actually going to upload our R4 retention also to the canvas. So I'll let you know once I did that. I believe I have Jacob, last one. Here. So you will be receiving feedback about the bar retention area, okay? And yeah, the grade has been released. The bar retention area, we commented separately. And yes, yeah. Okay, this divergence. Let's look at the divergence as well. Sandeep, I think I know I missed yours, right? Yes. No, we will come back to yours. The contour looks okay. It's just too close to, these two are too close, and it will be better if we do it like that and drag it up and then do that. And then I have my 09 over here. And you still have to keep 4 feet apart to maintain the 25% slope there. So those two would not be sticking together, those contours. Sound good? So that would be looking like this and like that, and then you would have your retention in the area like that. Okay. And let's take a look at the ramp. Yes. The main thing is you don't have enough slope over here. So that 7 goes here, right? That means your elevation here is it's 7. So your 6 would be a little bit lower, not too much. And then it goes like that. Your 6 wouldn't be here because I don't think you have 50 feet. I think your 6 will be entirely low, entirely down, even like this, because now we're creating a swell that we want it to go this way. Okay, that is your retention. And 7 goes, no, this 7 could go around and then go up to form the swell. But our goal, okay, I tilted a little bit more than I wanted. So I would actually want it to become like this. I'm exaggerating a little here. I am not staying 4 feet away, but you see my kind of the idea, right? So that goes around, and this you need here, we need another space for the plaza. That's where you create your plaza retention over here. Okay, so this is relatively clean, and that water goes inside there. Let me change to a blue color. So that needs to go in there, and the plaza goes here. And this is your 7, that's your 6. You just need to push these down, and you don't need another swell once you get through this point anymore. So your 5, you can see your 5 can basically connect like that. Yeah, yeah. So, and then your 4, you know, be even easier like this. So you basically use the same principle and move things up, and oh no, I mean tilt your contour the way that more follows the direction of the original one. This is the 3, right? 3 was over here. Yes, 3 was actually, I think you could spread it out once we know what the others look like. Spread out this portion to make it relatively gentler. Same thing over here. I don't think we need a swell here. 98, 97 is somewhere over here, actually. Your 97 was over here, and I think we can extend it. So all these will just hit the wall like that. We don't need the swell here. Yeah, make your wall longer, and so that this portion don't need to be moved as much. Yeah. Sounds good. And what else? That's probably pretty much, well, divergence swell we covered, ramp we covered. Oh, here. Yeah, you could converge that as I suggested to others. No, you did it correctly, but this is just a little less efficient having many ADA ramps. You can combine all of them into one. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Sounds good. Yeah, you also would need to add one ramp over here, just so others, when they're dropped off, same thing here. all those locations also need a curb ramp. This one, that one, and that one, because these are where people are dropped off, right? Mm. Drop-in lad here and there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think it's okay for it to be here. Otherwise, you will run out of space. If you put it here, this area, you might have a difficulty grade. Well, because this is lower than there, a little bit of difference. I think there's you should have some space. Yeah, you should have enough space to make it happen. You just need one short wall here, and then the other wall over there. Because if we can't make them, oh, you're actually getting back to this grade by this far. So you could combine them, but don't necessarily have to combine them. Or no, move them. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Sandeep, it's here. That's why I clicked it wrong. Now I know what I did. Forgot to move Sandeep's drawing. Why do I not have yours here? Here. That's why. Looks like you're almost done. Yes, they're pretty tiny. It's a little more complicated than necessary, I would say. I don't know if you need the ramp over here. The bus drop off, you would want, honestly, I think your best solution here would be having the ramp do this is the portion where people get up, and that's the slope. Yeah, well, it's a little, you would want this to be combined because you would want a ramp over here, and the best ramp for the bus drop off is actually a pretty spacious one like this. It's best if you have them. They could come with a tray, and then the ramp could yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's if your bus drop off is over here, I would definitely recommend that. But because you have a ramp like this, that's the best shape. Well, I mean, that's the best form of bus ramp. And then you would have ADA over here. That makes it a little hard to combine these two together. So that's why, no, yeah, that's okay if you don't have a bus drop off over here, but it doesn't seem like necessary. That's not necessary. And then you combine, let's see. You have a trench run over here. This is all paved, right? This is all paved. Then let's come up. Okay. So ADA, put ADA over here. and then get up. This is your flat area. And then this is your ramp area. And then the slope goes there. That's the slope. That's the one portion of your ramp. Yeah, that's enough. Yeah, honestly, I think you can end your pavement over here. All this would be green then. Yeah. Because you can get up here, right? And then go up, right? And then these people don't need to go there. Yeah, and they can, oh. Yeah, they can basically keep walking over. Okay, so that's that. Well, you are combining them here. So basically you're moving this one over there. They share a painted area. Yeah, so this is the painted line. And now, yeah, now this portion is your parking lot where car parks. That's where a car parks. Yeah, yeah. All right. Where the ramp starts, the BR. The BR equals to BC. Yes, 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 that's right. 103 point. Yeah, that sounds good. 105.03. These, it depends on what you do. You have a short wall here? Do you have a short wall here? Mm-hmm. Okay, you want to basically you want to drain according to you don't necessarily need to build a curb there because it's all vegetated area, right? So yes. Well, yes, you would not have a curb there because there's no vehicles. And you don't, yeah. You would, yes, you would extend the width or the coverage area along the edge of the pavement. So you would try to do more of this, then you're able to capture most of them, right? I know why you included that one. You basically wanted to encourage a collection along the curb, and then you have a you could use a truncheon as well. Yeah, yeah. Right. It's a lot of work there. Curb cuts is a lot of work. Also, in reality, most of the design would basically opt for just sheet flowing to the vegetated area. Yes, there could be some salts during the winter, mostly, yeah, the pollutant profile were pretty limited. So most of the developers or designer will be okay and say that let's just drain it to the side. If we have a retention, yes. Uh-huh. Yeah, I understand. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Yes. Yeah. You could use a DI, not a trench drain. This portion can have. So this one, we would recommend some changes to the side slope. Yeah. That one, and yeah, this one, this side is okay. And you could. Mhm. We want, yeah, this one is okay. There's a, you don't need to collect that. You don't need to collect that part. No, it's better to disperse it for this situation. Yeah. Right. And the other thing I'm a little confused is why it's so low. Your FFE is 9007 here. Oh, okay. 98 goes here, and then 97. Oh, there's a flat portion. I get it. That's pretty far away. So this should be flatter than 5. Feels like it's flatter than 5. So if your door, let's see, if this is 07, I'm at 09. I can't measure, but if we say this is 50, if I move this over here, yeah, I feel like even if I turn, I can't turn it. I feel this is flatter than 5. If that's flatter than 5, then you can go back to 9.7 sooner. 9.7, this will be 9.6 if you want to collect it, but I don't think it's necessary to have this retention over here. I think it's totally fine not having it because you have all the I know your 97 is going over there, right? What I meant is this can be 97. This one can be 97 because you're flat here. You may be able to put one more contour in between. So aiming for 97 to be where 97 is. So that basically means, okay, 97 is over here. That's correct. You're going down to 6.443. If this is 97, then all this is not necessary, and 97 would be because this it's basic 97, right? Your contour would be able to just connect like that. If there's a 97 contour, the wall could stop right before that. Not sure if that makes sense. Yeah. Verify, yes, verify if this is longer than 20 feet. I think it's longer than 20 feet. I think you should have some room to return to 97 sooner than you had it, then you can reduce the complexity in this area. That's your 97. Oh, you mean the backyard would be changed?
Hey, all, I'm gonna go ahead and close class down if that's all right with you.
Hey, we're not finished yet.
I am so sorry.
We're enjoying it.
All right.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna make you host
Okay, sounds good.
and let you guys play as long as you want.
Sounds good.
right. So you guys are your host and you can just stay in the main room.
Cool.
All right. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Right, so one thing here is you wouldn't have 07 here, right? You would have 06 here, actually. Yeah, because your 07 is over here. Yeah, that's 6. Yeah. Yeah. Well, we do have the recording on in the breakout room. Yeah. It's 08. 07.3, cool. 6.5, cool. 7.44 sounds good. And then we need let's see, this should be 07 contour. 07 contour, yes. The only thing that I would recommend is for, wow, I'm not sharing screen, so that's why I'm not I would not let this hit the wall and go along the edge, because that's indicating that there's a short wall there, right? So I would just make them, you don't need to avoid the RDI. The RDI, the elevation is the top of that pipe. The bottom could be lower than 07. So the RDI, it's only indicating the location. That elevation does not represent the ground elevation of that spot. Yeah. So I would just make this a closed contour without an overlapping with the edge, because that means there is a wall, right? Yeah.
Over here.
Mhm. Yeah. Oh, okay, let's see. If that is 7.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's why. Let's see. This is 7. This is your 7 here, right?
Yeah.
And that is your 8. Yes, okay. I see what you're doing. Very good. Good catch. Yes, yeah, no water is leaving from that side. That's good. Can you repeat? Is it all of it, or do you have all the retention necessary? No. Were you asking if you have all the or divergence well? These two. These two?
Yeah, this one.
Yes,
This
you
one I
do you
don't
mean
need.
if
Yeah.
if you need to keep this one? I would say if you have already done that, I don't see a reason to take it out. No, I don't see the need to change the swell. Yeah, the RDI, let's see, 1108.8, 7.889. Cool. No, I think this works. Yeah, that works.
Um, we have to do the parking lot.
Okay.
What is it that, yeah. So what I have done is here I was keeping top.
Mhm.
But I feel that one of the
Yeah, you only need this
central
one.
part is elevated. So it doesn't need to go up or there or something. Keeping it elevated.
Oh, you want this to be elevated? You mean turning this into a elevated area where people would walk instead of having a retention? Because you think all this portion will be able to treat by that area, is that right? Yeah, I would do a little bit of calculation to see if that's the case. Well, estimation, how is that? So this is how much water is going to treat from, yeah, about that much. And this going to be about that much. Yeah, this portion. Yeah, it's probably enough. If that's the case, you could indicate, I would label walkway. The key thing is that the elevated paving area, honestly, I think if you don't have it all the way elevated connected to here, you won't have a lot of people using it. Because imagine I stand here and a lot of these are cars. I may stand here and I stand here and then I walk away, right? I think that would be a better design, unless you want to make this whole thing a connection. We have had some students done that before, but because you have a bus drop off here, I wouldn't recommend doing so. This will be, no, you won't be able to park here at all. So overall, yeah, I think we need to, yeah, I think that'd be good. You wouldn't, you would have curbs, right? But it's basically an extension of the retention, the middle. So it will just be the retention inside the vertical. There's a vertical plant, I would say planter there. Yes. Cars would be here. That's the parking lot. I mean, yeah, those are the part. You would remove that line, right? Move that line and remove this line. So basically, yeah, basically this is one unit and that is one unit. However, no, if you want to extend it, it has to extend over beyond that point, right? But it's only going to be that area you don't need to extend over at all. This area, you just need to connect to the curb cut you have.
You can only, yeah, you can actually have one curb cut at the corner and then design an RDI there.
I think this
That's the DI.
no,
What I,
RDI, okay.
yeah, what I meant is you can get rid of this design and you can use a CC and then you can use an RDI. Okay, sounds good. Alrighty. Yeah, I saw an email coming in. Yeah.